Good evening, everybody. Sorry, just fiddling with the dials on there because I hadn't. Whoops. I think we're fine and good to go. And so, hello, everybody. Just going to just share this because I am coming on my my other channel, and most people are used to seeing me over on my personal page. But I'm now going to be doing my broadcast from over here on my Lynn Blackledge business page because I'm building my brand over here, and my son is advising me, and so that's what I'm doing. So I'm coming over here, and hopefully people will follow over in a minute. Let me just refresh my page and share it. Whoops, computer. Hi Lou, nice to see you. I know that you're not always up late like this, and but I know you've probably had a busy day. I've had a busy day, but actually I'm so tired. I haven't done very much today. Isn't it funny how you feel like that? Hi, Jenny. Nice to see you. Sorry, I'm just trying to refresh. No, you don't have to stay long. That's absolutely fine. I'm just going to share this to my personal page, and then I shall chat. I can't believe it's Friday again. Wherever did all that time go? Where did that next week go? I was saying only the other day, oh, it's Friday. And suddenly it's Friday again. I don't know where all the time's going. And of course, the evenings are starting to draw in now. So it's sort of getting autumnal. Wait a minute, let me post that over there. That's it. So, yes, I mean, it was this time last week that we started to hit all the voting stuff. For those of you who, hi, Janet, who don't know, but actually yes, another week's gone by. So it is Friday night, and for those of you here, obviously you know it's Friday night and you know it's the 24th of August, but anybody watching in the future, because I do save these live streams as videos, and so if you know, for anybody watching in the future, they'll know that I recorded this on Friday the 24th. Hi Mo, 24th of August 2018. And as I say, another week's whizzed by. I am very tired, very weary, and isn't it funny? I've done less today and I feel more weary. I don't know whether the weather's got anything to do with it. We've had some torrential rain today. Fortunately, I didn't get caught out in it. And at one point, I thought I was going to get caught in it coming home. And I was so weary, and I decided that I was going to get a taxi and not a tax. Well, on my Facebook page, I referred to taxis rather than taxis. Dear little slip of the spelling there. Now, Mo can't see me. Can anybody else see me? Lou can obviously hear me because he's responding. But Mo can't see. She can only see black and no screen. Oh, there I am. Okay, I'm glad you've got me, Mo. I'd hate to not be there when you're trying to watch me. Anyway, so that's thrown me off. Yeah, so yes, I've done less and I feel so tired. But I will be fine. I will bounce back. I will have a good night's sleep, and then get refreshed and recharged, because I have got so much live streaming ahead of me, so much work to do. Hi Leanne, all of you coming in here, finding me on this channel, that's good, because this is where I'm going to do the permanent, for the future, I will be doing most of my live streams on this page or the Isle of Wight live page. So of course my headline said, how will I cope with the fame? And I expect some of you know what that's about, because you might have seen my post earlier on. You know, I am famous. This is it. I and Liz and I together are famous. Liz being the chair of Ride Business Association. No. Got it wrong again. She's not the chair of Ride Business Association. She's the chair of Ride Carnival Association. You can tell I'm tired, can't you? But look at all the love coming in. So on the island, we have a lovely new paper, The Observer. It's a free paper. Look, see the word free? Causing a bit of a stir with the other media people, because they seem to be a little like they don't like it. The county press costs 90p. Maybe that's why the county press aren't very keen on them. But and then some of the digital media seem not to like them very much. You know, there's a bit of that funny business going on, and it's just daft really, because actually this is a printed paper, so I don't see why it would be competition to something that's not in print. Anyway, by the by, it's it's just an observation of mine that there seems to be a little bit of stuff going on because there's a new paper on the block. Anyway, this is the week three of the Observer, and it's an Ireland newspaper by Ireland people for Ireland people, and Lou loves it. I love it. I was going off the County Press. The County Press was taken over a year ago by a mainland company, and they don't really give the coverage that it used to give when it was an Ireland paper. It's still called the County Press for the Isle of Wight, but actually it's full of adverts, and you might get most of the pages an advert and then a teeny little bit of news, and I was going off it really. So I did buy it this week because I'm still sort of comparing and looking at things, but of course this is going to get a lot of coverage because it's free, and on page 3, not the first page 3, because there's that. Whoops. Hey, that's the first page 3, but inside there is the weekend sorted, and in here there's a page 3, and on page 3 you've got the page 3 girls. You saw that yeah, there was a little bit of stuff going on, wasn't there? And actually, when people post things like we saw, like Mo and I saw posted earlier, you actually think, what's that all about? It's nice to be nice. As it says in Kiva's Cafe, hi Samantha, as it says in Kiva's Cafe on the counter, it's nice to be nice. Hi Crystal. And I quote it time and time again. It's bang on. It's nice to be nice. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, really, is my, that's how I live. I try to work by that. Anyway, look, page 3, look. There's yours truly. There we go. And I'm with Liz there. And I last Saturday morning, I interviewed Liz out. Hi, Marianne and Crystal. I interviewed Liz outside the Co-op in Ryde. And, of course, this was all about the votes for the carnival. Most of you in the broadcast will know, but I'll just go in case anybody's in the broadcast that doesn't know. Ryde Carnival. Well, okay, they're messaging each other there. Okay, Ryde Carnival were shortlisted with 10 other carnivals to be to vie for the top slot to be the best in the country. It went to public vote and we won. No, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. We won, but this time last week we were standing 800 points behind the leader. And no, that's all right. Don't worry. You have your conversation. It's lovely. This is a community, Lou. It's great. I want you to all talk to each other and be friendly. It's nice to be nice, remember? Anyway, so when I saw that we were 800 points behind last week, I revved up into what I do well. And that was, think, hey, we can use social media for this. This is where I'm skilled. I have, I don't have, some things I'm not skilled at, but the social media side was good. And when I saw that 800 behind, I knew we could do it. There were doubters, around me who thought, oh, we can't do it. We're 800 behind now. And actually, I saw it and it became a challenge to me. It actually sort of like, imagine I got like a Clockwork Soldier with a key in my back, like the toys used to have. And it was like somebody did that, and wound up the key in my back. And I knew that we could do it. And so, of course, we motivated the troops and everybody responded. I think everybody responded and we had a fantastic result. But a fine example of a teamwork and everybody coming together to do it. And so it's quite interesting because this press release, Liz did this press release. I did prove them wrong, didn't I? This press release has gone out to several media places. It went out as a press release with a photograph, and it's really been interesting to see who printed it as it was or published it as it was, who put the picture in, who didn't put the picture in, who cut out any information about me getting any votes in. I mean, it wasn't all about me, but it's quite an interesting exercise. That's right, we did to see who's put what. So you actually know what, you know, I can tell what people are thinking as to who's put it in, who's put it all in, and who hasn't. You know, very, very interesting to watch all the different media and whether they've covered it or not. So it was quite an interesting exercise. Whew, I'm hot now. I was cold earlier. Oh dear. So anyway, today, folks, I had intended to do some live streaming from the seafront because, of course, it's scooter weekend here on the island, and I'd got an appointment to go and see the nurse. I've got that little patch on my leg that just needed dressing. It's going, and of course, you know that those of you watching the other day will know that Sandra, who probably not in the broadcast because I think she's camping, and I hope she's okay because she's camping over in Ventnor at the moment. There's the Healing Festival going on this weekend, and she's over there, and I know she's camping, so I just hope that she's okay in this weather. Anyway, she gave me this beeswax. She runs Vibe Tribe in the High Street, not far from Keevers and not far from the Stitching Elmers. You know, that bit of the High Street. I got some lovely businesses there that and lovely people there running businesses there. And today I went into the Network Ride where the youngsters are and was having a good chat with them. Anyway, so this is the beeswax that she gave me, and as she gave it to me for my leg, but she noticed I had a very sore bit on my finger here. Well, it's almost healed up. It was mega wide and mega sore. It's just a little crack there now, but it doesn't hurt anymore. So I've just been rubbing this beeswax pot on there, and it's really doing the trick. So we're getting lots of health top tips here. You know, Tina helped me with my diet to take the grain out of my diet, and I'm having tremendous fun now making all sorts of different things. I go to Easy Way to get a lot of my ingredients. Easy Way is another one of our lovely businesses sort of in our network, and that's down, for those of you on the island, if you don't know it, it's in Pyle Street in Newport. And for those of you off island, I have done live streams in there. We'll do some more so that you know about it. But it's a lovely shop. It was ahead of its time because they have been selling things for years without expensive... Oh, sorry, is it your signal or is it my signal? I don't know whether you... it looks all right from here. Oh, no, I don't know. It's frozen on my screen over here, so I'm not quite sure whether it's me or whether it's you, where it's coming from. Anyway, Easy Way doesn't use a lot of fancy, expensive packaging. They do all sorts of wonderful items there. I have done some live streaming there. I will do some more live streaming again. But I go and get a lot of my ingredients in there. Oh, good, Lou. Okay, thank you. I get a lot of my ingredients in there. I use. I've been making myself quite a few sweet potato patties. You love Easy Way, Mo. What do you buy in Easy Way? I buy all sorts of things. I buy my coconut oil in there now. I buy gram flour, which is actually chickpea flour, because I can't have ordinary flour now. And I've been making some sweet potato patties. I've never been a great cook. I don't like to spend hours and hours in the kitchen, but I don't mind having an experiment. And of course, because I sit here and my kitchen's just there behind the camera, I can sit at my desk and then run over and stir a pan or do something so I can, you know, be over here while I'm not a great one for standing over watching pots boil and things like that. But I'm actually experimenting with that, and I've been doing some lovely, I've got some cacao powder, and I don't know if any of you have done this. If you have overripe bananas, if you blitz them, and oh, there's lovely Gemma coming on. Gemma, I think this Gemma that I met today, I think it was the same Gemma. Sorry, I digress because I got distracted over there. If you've got overripe bananas, sometimes you can buy. You get lemon pepper and granola and porridge oats. See, I can't have oats, Mo, because that's not what I can have in my diet anymore. So I'm having different things. But what it's nice is if you can share recipes, that's good to help. It's the only place you can get lemon pepper, right? But it's nice to help Easy Way. You know, if we can share recipes and things, then it highlights them and they get more traction to their social media. And so yes, so the sweet potato patties, basically I peel the sweet potatoes, blitz them in I've got a NutriBullet, blitz them in there, and then mix them with some chickpea flour and some cayenne pepper and some curry powder, and then fry them in coconut oil, and it's delicious. So, you know, don't know whether that appeals to any of you, but it's very tasty. I love it. I'm not actually vegetarian, but I'm heading very much that way because I'm actually finding that the things I like best, that are best, you know, that I'm enjoying doing, happen to be more like a vegetarian diet. But I'm loving it. I'm looking for some more recipes. But going back to the bananas, obviously they don't go in the with the curry powder. Bananas, sometimes you can buy them when they've gone over, when they're very ripe. You can get them very cheaply. And if they're like that, or if you've got them, if any of mine go over like that, I tend to either pop them in the NutriBullet and put some cacao powder in, and it makes yeah, that's right. It is amazing, isn't it? If I put the banana in with the cacao powder when the bananas are not frozen, then it makes a lovely like a moussey type pudding. Or sometimes if I don't want it now, I freeze the bananas. I chop them up, and then when I get them out, I can blitz them and put them in cacao powder, and it makes like a chocolate ice cream. So that's really nice. And I tend to have that. I have a lot of Greek yogurt and I have a lot of fruit. So I might have, tonight I mixed it all up. Sometimes I will just have the banana, and the chocolate banana on its own, or the strawberries and the Greek yogurt on its own. But tonight I put them all together in a dish, and it was delicious. So that was nice. So yeah, as I say, my lazy day today, I had intended to go to the nurse to get my leg just checked out and dressed, because they want to dress it. I mean, I could probably do it myself, but I let them do it. And today I didn't walk. I need to get 2 buses there. I have to go down into town and then up and out of, because I live right the opposite side of Ryde from where the doctor's is. But so the other day I walked it. It takes me half an hour if I walk, but I decided today I was a bit weary. I'd get the bus. Well, that was fine, but the bus came a couple of minutes late possibly, and then it's on diversion because one of the roads is being dug up. So because it's on diversion, that in itself shouldn't have made it much later, because it just went round a block. But of course it goes out of the end of Mayfield Road, and there's traffic lights there. And it lost about 3 or 4 minutes waiting there, and then we went round a bit of the diversion and headed down. But of course, it is scooter weekend, and there are hundreds of, well, I think they're expecting 5,000 scooterists in Ryde this weekend. Now, I'm loving that, because I know that they're spending money in our town with lots of our businesses who could well do with money going into their tills. And so I'm fine with that. But I did think it was going to stop me getting the second bus. And there was some poor guy on the bus who was obviously going for the hovercraft. And the hovercraft was going at 5:02. And I think he was going to be very hard pushed to catch the hovercraft. And he was going up north. And of course, that impacted on his journey all day. So if he missed the hovercraft, he was going to miss his train and he was going to miss all his connections. But he got really screwed up. And I just thought, well, you know, he can't do anything about it, and getting screwed up might actually lead to a heart attack. So, you know, I felt like he needed to do a bit of chilling. We couldn't do anything about the traffic. That's as it was. But, you know, if he could perhaps keep a bit calmer, you know, I mean, I used to get wound up like that, but I've worked on all that sort of thing. And so it is what it is. I felt like, well, if I'm late for the doctors because I missed my connecting bus, then I'm late for the doctors. I'll ring them up and say that I'm on my way. Anyway, as it happened, the number 3 wasn't there. There should, you know, I was just about in time to catch the number 3, but the number 3 wasn't there that I was supposed to connect with. So I thought, okay, fair enough, have to wait. And then High Tristram, and then the number 2 came down, which shouldn't have been there. It should have been the number 3 and not the number 2. Well, apparently this number 2 was 40 minutes late, but I didn't mind that because it came in time for me to get on and hop along to the doctor's. So I got to the doctor's just about on time, and then waited 25 minutes to 25 minutes for my appointment. But you know, again, I never stress over these things. I used to. That used to wind me up. but I've actually learned to chill. I've got knitting. I would say I've got my social media, but my doctor's surgery has a black spot, so I can't do the social media while I'm in there. Everybody's saying hello. It's nice to see everybody here, coming, chatting away. I don't know if anybody wants to join me on broadcast tonight. Let me know if you want to join me on broadcast, because it'd be nice to have somebody popping in and out if you want. It is just a very general chit chat tonight. Very different from last week when we were chasing those votes for the carnival. And at this point, as I say, we were 800 points behind. But we had a wonderful weekend and we caught up. We went into the lead, and now we are officially the best carnival in the country. And of course, this coming week is Carnival Week. But before we get to ride Carnival, we've got Saturday night is Cowes Illuminated Carnival. So I will be out. And please, I would love it not to rain tomorrow night. It's been torrential rain here for some of today. I managed not to get caught in it. I managed to be in, where was I when the torrential rain came? Oh, I was in Iceland. Yes, I was in, that's right. That was later in the day actually. But what I'd done first, of course, was go to the doctors, and then I came along and I caught up with some people that I wanted to meet. And then I had, because of course last week I was representing Ride Carnival, they lent me a Ride Carnival t-shirt, and I totally forgot to wash it. Because it had to go back because they're limited numbers. And I washed it this morning. Hi, Liz. I washed the T-shirt this morning. And as it was in the washing machine, Liz Allen, who's chair of the Ride Carnival Committee, said, "Oh, I need you to can you drop the T-shirt off?" And of course, the T-shirt's in the washing machine, and I needed to drop it to Simon at the post office. So I messaged her back. I said, "Well, I've just remembered to wash it, so it's in the washing machine. I'll try and get it dry." But of course, I was going out, so what I did, I tried to iron it dry, but of course it was very thick T-shirt material, so I ironed it, but I had to go out to the doctor's, so I took it with me, and I took a hanger with me, one hanger that I could dispense with, and I thought if I take it to the post office, and Simon's at the post office, he works at the post office, he can probably hang it up somewhere so it will be dry for him. He was going out tonight doing, I think, some bucket collecting, because these people who are running the carnival, they work tirelessly all year. They work on organising the carnival, they work on the carnival floats, sorting out the queens, all the arrangements, and then on top of that they do fundraising to make sure these carnivals happen. And I know that Ventnor Carnival costs £10,000 to put on, so I would imagine Ride Carnival is something like that as well. I know they had some grant money this year. They won some grant money, so they were able to run some free workshops so that people and in fact there's still one workshop left on Tuesday, so that people who wanted to be involved in the carnival could actually get involved and get costumes without it costing them anything. Okay, Lou, that's fine. No problem. See you soon, and don't forget that live stream we're going to do next week. I've been pestering Lou to make sure that we get him doing a live stream in his shop, and I've pinned him down to a date now. And he's got such a wonderful shop to show off. And and he's got a sale going on, haven't you, Lou? You've got a sale going on at the moment. How long does the sale go on? I know you've got some wonderful fabric. He's got some Christmas... Shh! Mustn't say that word. Christmas fabric I saw that was going on sale today. I don't know. Lou, are you still there? Just tell us how long that's on sale for. And, just maybe we ought to share some pictures of that. Or perhaps it's selling very fast. I don't know. It looked lovely. So there we go. So that Christmas. So I, yes. So I pootled around, ended up in Keevers for my lunch because I thought I could. And had a lovely full Monty breakfast. Well, I call it a full Monty, but actually there's bits of it I don't have because I'm grain free, so I don't have the beans and I don't have a couple of the bits, but and I certainly don't have the bread, but it doesn't matter. It's lovely. It's so delicious. And what was lovely was listening there. I think there were some holiday makers in the cafe today, and it's always nice listening to them talking about, whether they, and there's so many lovely comments come out about Keevers. It is a lovely cafe. That's why I spend so much time there, because you'll see me checking in lots of the time and having different food. It's very, very reasonably priced. And but it's, if you're not sure where it is, it's at the top of the town next door to Iceland. And so if any of you want to meet me in there anytime, you know, let me know. We can do some networking in there. So I went there, and then I finally left there. And in fact, they normally close at 2. And today they didn't close till 3 because people kept coming in. And that's, you know, that's a nice thing. Karen can carry on serving if she wants to. She, you know, just because she normally shuts at 2, if there's a string of customers coming in, it would be a bit silly to shut. So anyway, so lots of nice, there were some lovely people in there, very nice atmosphere in there. And I have to say, the other day, I heard somebody complimenting Karen on the chips. And, you know, a lot of us have got into, not me, but because I don't do oven chips. I do, but I do sweet potato chips and things like that. But you know, the oven chips that you buy and cook in the oven, never the same, are they? Yeah, take one day at a time. These chips, her chips are lovely, and these people were complimenting on her on how lovely the chips were. And then I keep hearing lots of lovely comments in Keevers, and it's just really nice to see that people appreciate it. And Karen values all her customers. It's lovely to see that even if she's busy serving, if somebody leaves the cafe, she always calls out and thanks them as they're going out the door. You know, it's common courtesy, but not everybody does it. You know, a lot of people don't give the customer service, but Keevers, they do in Keevers, and it's lovely to see. So that's why I spend so much time there. Anyway, so I did spend quite a bit of time there, and then I thought, oh, I really have to get going. But it was just looking like it was going to pour with rain. So I have my lovely designer plastic Mac. It's one of those, like, it's big, like a big plastic bag, you know, one of those emergency poncho things, but it does the job, it does the trick. So I popped it on. It was just beginning to rain, and so then I went next door to Iceland because I had a few bits to get in there. I needed to get my Greek yogurt and some more sweet potatoes. And when I was in there, the heavens opened. It became torrential rain. And I wasn't in a rush, so I thought, you know what? I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to... There's a little ledge. It's like the edge of the window. It's a little ledge. So I just sat down there and waited for the rain to go over. And then I went and, you know, I sort of pootled. And then I went to Tony's and had some cup of tea and had some it's fish and chip shop. And I had... they do a pensioners meal in there, and they do steamed fish, so I don't have to have the batter on it because obviously I'm grain free. So that was really nice. And sitting down, lovely in there. I know Tony quite well. You know, I know a lot of the local businesses, and it's just lovely community. You know, he was so busy tonight. It was really. I mean, I suppose Friday night is fish and chip night. People always used to do that, didn't they? And there was, you know, he was mega busy. Oh, actually, well, I'll tell you what I was doing, Tristan, earlier. When I did go out, eventually, I waited for the torrential rain to leave. Oh, when I was walking down from Iceland down to Tony's, which isn't very far away, I went down the road going, I'm singing in the rain. And I know I don't sing very well, but I don't care, you know. I thought you either worry about it and moan and, you know... Okay, bye Janet, see you soon. Tomorrow night, don't forget, I'm live streaming from Cowes Illuminated Carnival. Just let's keep fingers crossed that it's dry so that I don't get too soaked, but I'll still be out there. If it's raining, I'll still be there doing the job. It's just that you'll all be dry and I'll be wet. And so, yeah, so I was singing in the rain, and then I went down, as I say, to Tony's, and then I was feeling tired, and it's not a very long journey home from there, but it's not worth getting on the bus because you have to walk to a bus stop, and then it's only one stop, and then the bus goes way past the road I need to get into, so it's almost not worth getting on the bus because you've got to walk that far back. And I was just a little bit... Actually, it's not. It's 2 bus stops from where I was. Sorry, I tell a fib. And so... I just decided to get a taxi home. So I rang for a taxi, and it was before 7, and they couldn't send me a taxi till 7:45. So I wasn't going to I wasn't going to wait. I thought, oh well, I'll just have to walk home and get wet, and then I can get dry when I get in. Anyway, Tristan rang me, and so we had a conversation. It was a bit difficult to hear because I was in a very noisy fish and chip shop, but we had a conversation, Tristan and I. And so it went past 7, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to ring the taxi again and see, And in fact, they did send me a taxi out, and they sent it before 7:45. So I got home. As I say, it wasn't very far, so it didn't cost me very much, but it was done. I just sometimes I just walk for miles and miles. Today, I just didn't want to do it. I just wanted to come home and get home without all fuff. Well, it's Friday and it's the end of a busy week. So I thought I could treat myself. So that's what I did. So anybody want to come in the broadcast? Tristan, are you busy? You want to come in? Anybody else there? I'm not quite sure who's here tonight. I see some people have been and some have gone. But not to worry. So as I say, I was going to go down and live stream the scooters, but you know what? I thought actually standing in the rain, live streaming the scooters wasn't. You're very busy, okay, Tristan, no problem. Actually, it wasn't really going to be the best live stream, and so I didn't go down. I decided not to. The scooterists are here all weekend. I did live stream a few of them yesterday, and they're going to be around all weekend. So I might go and do some tomorrow. I'm not quite sure. Tomorrow morning, I'm going out. I've been requested now because I've been doing so much live streaming. Some of the charities are now saying, will I go and live stream their events? And I don't mind. So tomorrow I'm going down. There's an event there was a little girl who's murdered in East Cowes, sadly. But her mum has found the strength to set up a charity in her memory and working very hard. And it's called, I think it's Kezi. It's Keza, I think it is. I don't know how you pronounce it. Kezi, I'm not quite sure. And the idea is to do things to help and make children smile. That's what she wants to do. That's for the memory of her daughter. And so I thought, yes, that would be really nice to go and support that. They've got a fun day down there. So it's in Victoria. It's down Victoria Road. Is it I don't know if Mo's still in here. Mo, do you know Mo's? I'm hoping to meet Mo down there. And I believe there's some Moanas on during the day, and of course Mo is a Moana, so she wanted to be down there when they were there. We've got some little Moanas on a carnival float as well, and of course it is a film. It's a film I have to own up that when my grandchildren were watching it, I fell asleep, and then they watched it again and I fell asleep again. So I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen the film. I've seen bits of it. So but I know last weekend when I was just nipped into the loo at KFC, these little Moanas were in there, and they were saying to me that they'd seen me on my YouTube channel, and it was just fun. It's just fun meeting all these people. Hi Neil, nice to see you. And so so tomorrow I'm going to go down and live stream from East Cowes. And then I'm not quite sure. I'll be live streaming from West Cowes tomorrow night. Not sure what I'm doing in between. I might go and see the scooterists. I might come home. Who knows what I'll do in between. Just keep an eye out, because if I got a chance to go live, I will. And then on Sunday, I'm going to live stream the ride out. So because we've got about, as I say, 5,000 scooterists on the island, they reckon. So I don't know whether every one of them goes in the ride out. That's going to be a long ride out. So I'm going to position myself so that I can live stream that. And then I had hoped to go to Ventnor. There's a healing festival in Ventnor, and that's where Sandra's gone. Sandra, who was helping me with the votes, one of the many people helping with the votes, but she was actually coming in with the count of how the votes were going last weekend. I know other people were as well. I know Mo was giving me updates too, and whatever. So Sandra is down in Ventnor, and she's at the Healing Festival. Am I going on a scooter? What do you think, Tristan? I think I'd be terrified on the back of a scooter. Unless, of course, you mean a children's scooter. Then I might scoot, but I might fall over. That might not be the best idea. And what do I do with Lilac Lil if I'm on a scooter? Not quite sure about that one. What we do need to do is we need to motorise Lilac Lil. Put a buggy board on Lilac Lil and motorise it. I did do the ride slide, you're quite right, and I did the ride slide 2 years running, the water slide, folks, that is. Anybody who doesn't know, I slid down in fancy, well, the first time I wasn't in fancy dress, the first time I didn't know I was going to do it, so I had no towel or anything with me, and ended up going down a water slide, and then being soaking wet, but somebody lent me a towel, and somebody gave me a lift home, so that was fine. Second time I went down the slide, I was dressed as an elf. Because why wouldn't you be? You know, I mean, there you go. That's how it is. And it was quite fun. I didn't ever intend to do it, but on the second time, I certainly didn't intend. The first time I didn't intend to do it at all because I thought it was going to be very fast and furious, and I don't like fast and furious. That sort of fast and furious. I love, all the busyness I do. That sort of fast and furious. I didn't like the idea of going down a slide, down the main road on a slide in water and foam. Didn't appeal to me at all. But at that time I was working with with a friend who we were known as the Giggly Grannies, and somebody said, we want the Giggly Grannies to go down. And actually we both looked at the slide and thought, do you know what, it's not going as fast as we thought it was. So we decided that we would go, but what we did, we went round the town and raised £60 of, just like that, there and then, £60 of charity money, and gave that, because the whole thing was for charity. So we persuaded people to sponsor us to go down, and so we did go down. And as I say, I hadn't intended to go down, so I had no fancy dress or anything like everybody else had, but it didn't matter. I went down and it was fun. And then the next year, I didn't intend to go down at all. No, that was, it was not an option. And then somebody said to me, I'll pay you, I'll donate £100 to the charity if you go down. And actually, that was a no-brainer because, I love to help charities. And if I didn't go down, then the charities would not have had that £100. So I did it. And this time I happened to have a fancy dress with me, just in case. So I was an elf, and the elf costume had come. We used to have a fancy dress shop in Ryde called Masquerade, and Sally, who used to run that shop, when I was chair of Ryde Business Association, at the Christmas we had an elf on the shelf competition, and so lovely Sally made me a costume, and she made the other Giggly Granny a costume, and we went round the town encouraging people. There was a window spotting competition as well, so we went round as rather large elves, encouraging people to get involved. So that was that. Actually, the same lovely lady Sally also made me a pirate costume, because we have a pirate event yes we do, in the summer. And so I was still chair of the Ryde Business Association, so she made me a beautiful pirate costume that I went around the town promoting the Pirate Day in costume. You might guess that I do quite like these things. I used to run a nursery school, and we used to do shows, and I used to dress up and be characters with the shows. So you can understand why sometimes then I sit here with boppers on my head, or the hat. Oh, don't forget the hat that I wore last weekend. Vote for ridecarnival.com. It's still here. But we don't need any more votes because we won it. We're officially the best carnival in the country. And next week I will be able to bring the live streams to show you that we're the best carnival in the country. And they have the Ride Carnival team have been working with the New Carnival Company, who are based here on the island, and they've been working together, and they've been... You think it's all funny, Tristan, do you? I can see you doing lots of laughing there. He never knows what his mother's going to get up to next, do you, Tristan? But you don't mind, and I think he's secretly sometimes quite proud of me. He does put proud sons sometimes. I think you were proud of me last weekend, weren't you, Tristan, with all the votes? I think that was one that... I think he was quite proud of me then. But then I'm quite proud of him and all the things he's done. So, we spar off each other. So that's you know, it was fun. So I don't think I'm running around in costume this weekend. It's just out with the camera. And so I will be just charging up the batteries. Actually, look, this one's actually on charge now. You can see the lights. You might not be able to see the lights flashing. So it will be charged up ready tomorrow. And so I'll charge the camera up as well. So it will be, yes, it will be cows. Oh no! So what I was saying on Sunday, and I put an appeal out earlier. Now, if it's meant to be, it will be, and if it's not meant to be, it won't happen. But I'm doing the ride out at 1 on Sunday afternoon, so that's in Ryde. And the Healing Festival is in Ventnor, and it's at Ventnor Botanic Gardens. Now, Sandra and I were chatting this morning before she was going off. We were chatting online, and I said, if I can get there, I will come and live stream. So I've got the details and all that. She's now gone out of communication. I'm going on the scooter. Well, if somebody brings a scooter and brings me a crash helmet, then maybe. Who knows? You do see some of these mad, wacky grannies whizzing around on the back of a scooter. Not quite sure where to put Lilac Lil if I'm on the back of a scooter, but we could always work that one out. We'll see. And anyway, so I was trying to work out the logistics. And Tristan, I need you to go and sort Southern Vectis out. Southern Vectis being our bus company. And this morning it was #bad customer user experience, because it is not good. They do not tell you every bus stop on the website. And they don't tell you the times of all the bus stops. You know, they'll give you about 5 bus stops. And that's a long distance, and there's lots of bus stops in between. So I always have to ask somebody. I did it on one time, find some hidden right in the Southern Vectis website, but this morning I couldn't find them. So I didn't know. I knew that the Healing Festival was at the Botanic Gardens, but when I looked, there was no bus that went past the Botanic Gardens. That's really good, isn't it? The Botanic Gardens is one of our attractions on the Isle of Wight, and the bus does not go there. So, you know, this is just not joined up thinking here. Anyway, so Sandra and I were chatting and trying to work it out, and she'd actually got to the fact that it didn't go past the Botanic Gardens, and so she actually rang up. Yeah, I'm sure someone would look after Lilac Lil. How many votes to get me on a scooter? Yeah, but I have to be sponsored if I'm going on the scooter. Got to be something in it, you know, make it worthwhile. Hi, Brett. Brett, we're talking about, Tristan's talking about me being sponsored to go on the back of one of these scooters. So not quite sure about that. Anyway, so the problem is that I'm going to be live streaming the ride out in Ryde at 1 o'clock. Now, there are about 5,000 scooterists on the island. I don't know if they're all in the ride out, whether they'll all be going by. I don't know how long it would take for all those scooters to go by. So I'm not sure the timing. I know it starts at 1, not sure what time the ride out finishes. But there are only 3 buses a day that go anywhere near the Botanic Gardens. The nearest we can get is a 15-minute walk away. So, I don't particularly necessarily want to do a 15-minute walk to the Botanic Gardens, because don't forget there's a 15-minute walk back as well. Anyway, if I could get there, what charity, okay? We'll see what charity, see what anybody says. If I could get there, then I would, but the bus that goes there, there's only 3 a day, remember. There's one at the beginning of the day, there's one at the end of the day going there. I hope there's one at the end of the day coming back. The middle one would be the one I get. It leaves Newport at 10 to 2. Now, Ryde is 25 minutes at least away from Newport, and so there's no way I'm going to record live stream the ride out and get to Newport in order to get on a bus to go to the Ventnor. That's just not going to happen. And so what I did, I appealed earlier on. I said, if there's anybody out there going to the Ventnor Botanic Gardens in the afternoon to see the Healing Festival, to go to the Healing Festival, then let me know and see whether I can hitch a ride. But actually, you know, it either will happen or it won't happen. it would be lovely to go and live stream what's going on there, because there's some amazing therapists on this island doing some amazing things, and I have been to the Healing Festival before. What I will say though is Ventnor has not a very good signal, so it might not have been live streamed. It might have to be videoed, but we'll see. If I don't go to Ventnor, maybe I'll come home and have a rest. That might be a good option. And because it's then a full-on week, because on Monday it's St Helens Carnival, and there's a lot of things going on St Helens Green, so I'm not sure whether I'm there all the time. There's so many things going on this weekend. There's the steam fair and all sorts of things, and it's just what I can get to do the live streaming, which is why it's so important we start growing a live stream team. And so I was talking to the people who run Network, what they call it, Network 7, Network Ride. A Network Ride is where lots of youngsters go in after school. There's a place where they can go and chill out and do all sorts of games on the computer and all sorts of other stuff. And the people in there that were running it were lovely. I was having a chat there, and they were really nice. And so I was talking about training some youngsters up. That would be my ideal, training some youngsters up to do live streaming, so that there would be more than one of us doing the stuff, because there's so many things that are going on and we just can't capture it all for everybody. I think I do pretty well, careering around, but if there was a team of us, we could have lots of live streams going on. Loads and loads of things coming to you. So that's a plan, growing the team. It might be a plan to go to Ventnor, it might not. As I say, Monday is the bank holiday, and there's lots of things going on, but I think St Helen, I need to be at St Helens Carnival. They've supported all the other carnivals. I need to go and support their carnival, so I will be over there for, I think that's an evening one. I got to check my times. And then Wednesday afternoon, it's the Children's Carnival, followed by me dashing over, not dashing, I don't think I'll dash, I think I'll just go sedately on a bus over to Sandown, because again, somebody from another charity has reached out and said, will I help them with some live stream? So I'm going to meet up with that lady. I'm also going to try and meet up with Laura, who often comes in. I don't know if Laura's in the broadcast at the moment, but we've known each other on Facebook for 8 years, and we finally met the other day at the Illuminated Carnival in Newport. But I really only just we stood in the street and chatted, and really it'd be nice to sit down and have a coffee and chat and do that. So we're going to arrange that. I think in Sandown because what's happening, it's Children's Carnival in Ryde in the afternoon, and it's the Illuminated Carnival in Sandown in the evening. So there's going to be a gap. I've got to get over to Sandown, and then there's going to be a gap when hopefully I can see both. I've forgotten the lady's name I'm seeing about the charity, and then Laura. So it's a busy, busy one. And then Thursday night is Ryde Main Carnival. And then on Saturday night it's Ryde Illuminated Carnival. So it's a bit of a busy old week, this one. And then there are things now stacking up. I've just pinned Lou down. He's not in the broadcast now because he's gone to bed, but I've been talking to Lou for ages, saying he needs to have live streaming going on in his shop. He has done a little bit, but we need to just edge him that bit more. He's finally agreed that that's going to happen. I've stopped mid-sentence, have I? I don't know. Crystal said, I've stopped mid-sentence. I'll get off and go to bed and hope to see the last few minutes tomorrow. Night, and God bless. Okay, well, I'm actually going to go now because I do need to refresh and recharge, ready for tomorrow. But what I will do is I will dip into Butterfly Whispers and just see what it says. I haven't even looked myself. Usually I read them first, but I haven't looked. And today it's the 24th, isn't it? So let's just finish off on our Butterfly Whispers before we all go. So there must be hundreds, possibly thousands of people here at the beach, all having a wonderful time. For all these people, there are a handful of men and women selling what they can to make a living. Some are selling pirated DVDs, some selling sunglasses and watches. Some are offering hair braiding and others massages. Their services are turned down with a no thank you. Some just say no or shake their head. Some don't make eye contact at all and just ignore them. Most of these people say no in some way. Do you think that stops the vendors from trying? No, they keep asking. No doubt they'll be back tomorrow asking again. They get more no's than yeses, but they don't quit because there will always be someone who wants to buy, and they will find that person. Even though they can be annoying, you have to give them credit for keeping on and on, not taking no for an answer, and treating no as next. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to love you and leave you. Another Friday night, another week's whiz by, and I'm going to just chill now for a little while before I go to bed, and then hopefully you will see some of the broadcasts coming out tomorrow, more stuff around the island, and that will of course be on the isleofwight.live page, so hop over there and see them over there. So I'm going to love you and leave you now. Thank you so much for coming into the broadcast. I value your time here with me, and it's nice to see the interaction, especially as some of you now are getting to know each other, even if you haven't met, you know, like Lou and Leanne and Janet have bought stuff remotely, you know, on I introduced them on here, and they've never met, but they've bought from the shop, and Lou sent it to them, and then they bought again, and I think they bought again. So, you know, it's quite nice to see that you've linked people up here. So I never mind any of you chatting in here. It's really quite nice. So what I do mind, the only thing I mind, but nobody's doing it here because you're all civilized people, I don't like it when people drop their links on my page if I haven't asked them. I every now and again we drop links in, but I don't want it to be a link filled, you know, always links. Folks, I have got something to ask you, and I'm going to drop a link myself if I can find it quickly, because there's a little while left. Hang on. Whoops, just see if I can do it. Because Tina K. Valant, one of the ladies who go live, she's got a project. Their voting is finishing later on. I think they're behind us, and I would love it if any of you have got people in America and you could share this link with any of them. She is getting votes, and they gave a lot of vote. They found a lot of votes for us last week, so it's really, you know, we must do the same back. We have already shared it. I'm just going to drop this link in because what she needs is people who are in America. She needs America. Oh dear, it doesn't want to. The link doesn't want to go. Now, why is it being naughty like that? Oh, here we are. It is playing. Now, is it doing? Do you know my computer's playing up? My little mouse doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Hang on. It's supposed to be dropping. Copy and paste. I copied it, and then it. Right. Oh, here we go. There we go. So I've just put a link in there. If you know anybody in America and you think they will vote. There we are, Tristan. There's the link. Tina is involved with people with mental health, and there've been a lot of suicides. And there's a grant, a $25,000 grant up for grabs to help with the work with the mental health issues. And she's very she's very involved in that, and so. But the voters have to be in America, and they have to be over 18. So I put this out last night, Tristan, because I don't know who knows people in America. You know, I might assume that none of us know people in America, and of course that would be a wrong assumption. And last night, Karen, one of the Karens who was in here, she moderates a group of people in America, so she dropped the link in there. You know, again, it's who knows who knows who. It's that network of linking everybody up. So I'm glad I just remembered to do that. So if any of you can share that to anybody in America, that would be wonderful, and we could get them a few more votes, and it might be just those few votes that actually make the difference. So yes, I do. That's right. Tristan's telling me about more people that I know in America, and I can drop that link in a minute. So I will go and see if I can get some of those because I mean, Tristan and I, through our original live streaming, we used to live stream on Periscope. We used to be involved with something called Blab. That was one that folded. And we did meet a lot of American people, so it might be. And of course, I know Madeline Sklar, she's in America. I could drop some tweets in as well. So I could drop it in as a tweet and see if any of them will share it. So I shall go and do my bit in a minute. So I better get off here now so that I can do that and still get to bed at a reasonable time. So again, I already said it. Love you all, and grateful that you all come in here time after time. See you all again soon. Bye for now.